Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel, and in today's video I have here with me a very special recipe. You can tell it is Ekwang, but you do not know the content of the Ekwang. This is the tastiest and most delicious Ekwang I've ever had. For our first ingredient, we'll need cocoyam, and we are going to proceed to peel our cocoyam. We are using white cocoyam precisely. Wash cocoyam properly and proceed to grate your cocoyam. After grating your cocoyam, it is going to be as smooth as this. Now you can either use a wooden spoon for this process or use your hands to beat your cocoyams properly. Now proceed to add salt to your cocoyam and beat well. Trust me, if you are allergic, this process will itch your hands, so you can use your wooden spoon. Now this is the star content of the recipe. Now we'll be using bitter leaf. Now it is the rainy season in Cameroon, and bitter leaves are not really bitter. They are not bitter at all. Well, most. This is because of the excess water in the soil. You can substitute for other leaves which are almost like this one. Sweet leaf, bayangi leaf, and all of that. You can equally use pumpkin leaves, also known as uku, okongobong leaves. I'll make a video where I'll use okongobong leaves, so please stay tuned. After picking our vegetables, we are going to proceed to wash it in clean water. Now, when picking your vegetables, make sure to pick the ones which are full. They do not have holes in them, and you can see where we started cutting our vegetables from. You do not need the extra stem. When I say this method is extremely good, it is. Traditionally, Ekwang has been shown to be tied with cocoyam leaves, also known as taro leaves, which is the traditional way of tying Ekwang or wrapping Ekwang, I rather say. This is quite simple. You have to just add your cocoyam paste on your leaf and proceed to wrap in the same way you wrap Ekwang. In recent times, this has been more beneficial for us, especially in situations where the cocoyams are extremely itchy, meaning it will take a lot of time on the fire, and then you proceed to buy cocoyam leaves that you are not sure of, which have the same itching content. So this means the pot is supposed to stay longer on the fire. However, with this, it is actually very easy. We are dealing with just one problem, unlike two. After wrapping, do not forget to grease your pot or oil your pot with palm oil before proceeding to add your wrapped Ekwang. This is because you do not want your Ekwang to stick to the pot, so that is a very important step. Also, when it comes to adding salt to your cocoyam before wrapping, you have to make sure to eyeball it or add just a little. Do not add a lot of salt to your cocoyam because you'll be adding seasoning cubes and salt to your meal proper. Other cases, people tend to taste it after adding salt bit by bit. My mother does that. That serves as a guide so she can actually determine how much salt and seasoning cubes she needs to add to her pot. I do not taste, I just eyeball. Also, when wrapping your Ekwang, you have to make sure to be gentle with your leaves. These are not as hard as cocoyam leaves. This does not mean they are soft either. So do you see what we do? We pinch the end, and the up part does not have a lot of stem either. Also, you can wrap your Ekwang, put in a ziploc and freeze. So whenever you want to cook Ekwang, you just take it out of the freezer and cook. Now, when it comes to methods like this, you do not have to let your Ekwang defrost or thaw. Cook it in its frozen state. This doesn't only apply to when it is wrapped with bitter leaf, it equally applies to when it is wrapped with cocoyam leaves as well. So after arranging, we are going to stand on the fire, add our fish, and just let it heat up for just a minute to cause the leaves to be somewhat firm. While this is going on, make sure you have water on the fire that is boiling, because we are going to be using hot water to cook our Ekwang. This helps a lot, and I have a previous video on Ekwang. I'm sure you learn all those tricks there. I'll link it in the description box. Just add water little by little around and in the middle as well. This is just to cause the leaves to be firm so it does not scatter. Later on, you're going to add a generous quantity of water so your Ekwang cooks properly, and that is where the sauce comes from. Now you're going to season with some salt, some seasoning cubes, and you're equally going to add your crayfish. I pounded mine with pepper. I do not fail to mention that you can blend your pepper or throw in pepper like that. Once that is done, proceed to add your palm oil so it cooks till it gets ready. Now I've proceeded to add ginger and garlic paste, and I'm adding my country onions, which is the star ingredient of the show. This is what I'm going to emphasize on. Proceed to mix your ekwang this way. Shake your pot. Proceed to add little water if you must, so your palm oil cooks properly and your ekwang does not get burnt either. Shake again so that the water goes around evenly. You will repeat this at different intervals, but be careful while shaking so your ekwang does not pour on your body. So we are done cooking our ekwang and we are just going to serve. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Do well to stay so you can have other yummy recipes like this. Also, I'll tick this recipe and I'll give it a 10 on 10. This is because of how it came out. Our leaves are extremely tied to our cocoyam paste, and as you can see, it did not scatter. This was so tasty and the ingredients used were minimal. Thank you again for watching. Bye.